in Marion Simeon of Romania. Simeon, Olympic champion, world champion, he's done it all. Now, Marion Simeon, 28 years of age. Andy Lee turned just 20 a couple of weeks ago. And this could be his toughest fight of all time. We did see him in the European Championships where he picked up a medal. And of course he has qualified for the Olympic Games. It's also the division that had Gary Barr from England. And Gary went out in his first contest to Robert, the German actually, and the German was stopped subsequently by Andy Lee. Lee then beat a Pole in the semis, and here he is facing probably his toughest test so far against Marion Simeon of Romania. Simeon looks like he's had an easy route to the final, beat a Belgian in his first bout. He then went on to beat a Greek in the semi-final, and he's had one bout less than Andy Lee, who beat a Turk in his first bout. I know Lee has got an awful lot of support in his native Ireland. And when I say Ireland, I mean the Republic of Ireland. I don't mean Northern Ireland. If I meant Northern Ireland, I'd say Northern Ireland. But I've got to say that Lee really looks up against it here. Marion Simeon is a consummate boxer, you know, at the highest level, and has been for some years. Nice bit of work there from Lee. He knows how to work the computer, Andy Lee, and that's very important. Well, good bit of defensive work there from Lee. And the Spanish sun shining through the skylights. Simeon, one of two boxing brothers that have reached the finals, IRL being the other one. Well, this Romanian's not having everything his own way by any means in this opening session. Andy Lee, in fact, boxing pretty well. Oh, lovely left hook there from Simeon. And Lee under a bit of pressure now from that punch, but gets himself out of bother with good footwork. Well, end of round one, and really not a great deal between them, was there? A decent fighter from Romania in Marion Simeon.
Segundo asalto.
Yeah, round two. So the South African Lee then from Ireland. A lot of interest in him, by the way, shown by many of our Irish viewers, and of course the English viewers too, who really did get behind Andy Lee, because we had no one left at the semi-final stage, which he reached, of course, in the European Championships. This is a step down from that. This is the European Union. Only 25 countries are eligible to compete. And this is a very good little match. And Lee giving as good as he gets here in the second round. Simeon, though, as I say, very experienced at the highest of levels, and a very decent fighter. Boxer, okay, boxer. Yes, the amateur boxing authorities don't like that word, fighter. In fact, there's an awful lot of things the amateur boxing authorities don't like. They don't like professional license holders working with them. I remember my mate Gary DeRue, who runs the Phoenix Boxing Club in Peterborough, former British featherweight champion, was kicked out by the AIBA because he was also a British boxing border control inspector. The same thing happened to Nick Laidman, border control inspector, who also worked with Fitzroy Lodge Amateur Boxing Club. Nice bit of work there from Simeon. Well, come on, ref, leave it. Don't give a count now. Goodness me, there's 5-6 other punches landed since that one count the referee's giving a Lee. Oh, that's ridiculous. Of course, the boxing officials now have got a policy of not actually getting physically involved with the boxers. Therefore, there was an exchange there, maybe half a dozen punches between these two before the referee caught their attention. In the old days, of course, you could get in and rip them apart, but not anymore. Well, Lee boxing well, considering that right hand that shook him. Don't forget, in this game, only 1 point scored for a count, or even a knockdown. That's what we call a standing count, by the way. That was administered to Lee a moment ago. Not a mandatory. They don't exist in amateur boxing, although the standing count is up to 8. The referee can continue to 10, and count the boxer out, but that was a close round again, but Simeon's probably got that one. So Lee wins the first, Simeon the second. But a good battle here has developed between these two. Either, so double trouble here for Andy Lee. Staying away from the strong right hand, but will also walk into a fairly strong left hook too. So he's got to be smart. Problem here. And nosebleeds are the least you can possibly expect in a boxing ring, aren't they? So Andy Lee then 20 years of age, just against one of the world's leading middleweights here in Marion Simeon. Left hook there from Simeon, and that is the problem for Lee, moving round to his own right against a good hooker. And so what's the answer? There probably isn't one against Simeon. He's very good at what he does. They're under pressure again. Oh, the referee getting in there, giving another count here against Lee. Well, whatever happens, Lee's going to pick up a silver medal, which will go with his bronze that he picked up in the European Championships proper. Well, Simeon will be buoyant at this stage. Well, Lee not really fancying taking another one of those left hooks, so trying to move, vary his movement here. And Simeon, a very strong boxer, goes forward an awful lot. Lee, though, smart. And I've got to say, much better in this tournament than he was in the Europeans. So there has been marked improvement in Andy Lee. Well, that's one of the answers, is to duck below that left hook, and that's a lovely left cross there from Lee. And the question to ask now, who's in favour with the officials, the Romanians or the Irish? Not around there for Simeon, but a decent effort from Lee. So 2 and 3 goes Simeon's way. First round, I think, went Lee's way. That's it. He probably needs it. But once again, great effort from the Irishman. So Marion Simeon in the red strip from Romania. As I say, an excellent boxer, good puncher. Takes a shot too. Lee, smart, quick, and improving. And still young enough, of course, to come again. Whether or not he stays in the amateur ranks remains to be seen after the Olympic Games. I suspect he probably won't. Don't forget, Wayne McCulloch and Michael Carruth picked up gold and silver. Or silver and gold, I should say, in 1992. Nothing, no, in 96 or 2000. Can Lee address the balance for 2004 in Athens? Well, a bit of a forearm smash there from Simeon. Little wink from the referee, almost to say, thank you for not making a fuss and making my life difficult. Not a bad round this for Lee. And Simeon obviously thinks he's got this one won now and doesn't want to take any chances, which might be a false premise, really. Oh, the Irish corner there, told to be quiet. But Lee's boxing well here. And don't forget, it's a cumulative effect on the judges' counters, which means that, whatever... Come on, ref. Oh, for goodness sake, there's such... Sure, well, there's a cut on the eye. It's a little nick there. It's not serious by any means. In fact, it might just be on the inside of the bridge of the nose. Nothing serious. And with very little... In fact, no, it's on the eye. And with very little to go in the round... Oh, they say box on, says the doctor. That's interesting. And it's awfully difficult to inflict any damage with the head guard on, so there's a very good chance that Simeon may well have sustained that injury coming into this tournament. And it's just opened up again, but Lee's having a good round here. Wouldn't that be fantastic if the Irishman could pick up the gold medal because of a good finish? And he's getting a good finish. Straight punches, Andy. And that's a cracking last round there for Lee. Well, I've got it dead level in rounds. But of course, it all depends how the judges have scored it. Well, there he is then, the 20-year-old Irishman. Has he done enough? It was awfully close, ultimately. Lee won the last round, he won the first as well, I believe, but, well, Marion Simeon, with his experience and ability, you just never know. He's probably the favourite to pick up the verdict here, so I don't want to get Lee's hopes up too high. Here we go. Yeah, Simeon gets it. So he's the gold medalist then, European Union Championships. But what a terrific effort there from Andy Lee. Didn't he do well?